Welcome back to Franchise Hockey Manager 10 with the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's the start of Season 3, and the big question is whether or not we get any awards, or does Crosby stay one more season? Really hoping that he does, but we'll start with the awards first. For the Hart Trophy here, we have Draisaitl, who's probably going to get that. McDavid gets it, so pretty much the next thing. Who's the playoff MVP? I wonder who. Carlson gets it with 25 points in 21 games. Kind of surprising. I would have expected Stamkos to get it. Then Jarventi from Ottawa ends up getting the Calder. 57 points in 78 games. That's pretty good. Let's see if Letang gets it. No, Theodore gets the Norris. And then I don't think we have anything for here. So we have Rasmussen, who ends up getting the Selke. 41 points, 82 games. Plus minus is 23. And no one here is nominated. Copley gets the Vezina. And then let's see if we end up getting the Executive of the Year or the Best Coach. Rob Blake gets GM. So do we get the Best Coach? And we do get the Best Coach. I think that's the second year in a row that we managed to get the Best Coach. So still pretty good outcome for that. And let's jump to see if Crosby ends up signing with us or if he ends up retiring. Now the season summary for this season, we ended up winning Manager of the Year, reached the playoffs, winning season, 600 or better, finished season first, and then reached the finals, won championship and met objective, and we do get longevity and financial health bonus. So we have 9 points available. Since we don't know if Crosby ends up retiring or not, we're going to have to kind of go full force on this one. So let's go do the coaching there as well. Let's do motivation as well, and maybe we'll increase our negotiation skills. Actually, we'll do that. We'll do negotiation skills more than anything. See if we can max that out. Yeah, motivation will do down 1 there. So we'll end up maxing out at negotiation skills. I don't even know if you can go up above 20 there, but and I don't know if it will really matter. So we'll end up doing that, and then we'll kind of see whether or not Crosby sticks with us. It could be a bad move. We could have just wanted to develop prospects, but I don't know how integral those stats are anyways. So we'll kind of see the more that we end up going on. Now it's the hunt to see if Crosby or Malkin retired here. We see Nicholas Backstrom retired, Burns retired as well, Ehlers, Giroux, and Oshie. We already knew that. Pavelski retires as well. Price is finally retired, and Wheeler ends up retiring from us anyways. He retired at 3 stars, so that's pretty damn good. Nyquist retires as well, and then we have Van Riemsdyk, Hoffman, bunch of mid-tier people. Derek Ryan walks away. Development, so Lyubushkin, the guy that's never going to play for us, and I don't see anything. Brody retires as well. Giordano retires. Backlund retires. But I don't see anything for it. O'Reilly Height gets traded though. Oh no, they secured it. We tried trading him for him last year, but we couldn't get him. Jake Allen retires as well. Confidence update, everyone's happy. We expect to contend, so don't let up, and they want us to go all in. One of our coaches ends up retiring. Ulf Samuelsson is one of the guys that we grab every single season, and he does retire pretty early on. But good news, we don't have anyone that's gone. We'll take a look at our contract situation as well. We do have, it says 19 million, which we know is around 10, and then we can do the annual thing. Do we want to raise the prices? We do need a little bit more money, so we will do that. We'll do the normal maintenance. We do have 541 there. We can add, no, we won't make it there, but you know what, let's raise development just because we do have prospects, as long as it doesn't cost us anything else. And then wage budget, we'll leave at that for now. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. We do want a new head coach, but it's going to all depend on whether or not we have the option to do that. But that is what the goal is this season. If we can get a head coach, then we'll be extremely happy with it. So I think we'll just do one of these, convert regular seats to premium. We can do both actually. Then we end with 93. So that's good enough for us. Cap obligation wise, Malkin. Let's see if he will sign with us for one more year. Yes, he will. Let's see if we can talk him down, though. Let's see if we can get 5 mil. If we can get 5 mil, we'll be really happy with that. Start off at here, actually. Not the worst, good, so he's not pissed off, at least. Let's see if we can get him at this. 5.31 to 150. Just meet demands. That's good enough for me. So we'll do that, and then Tatar's probably gonna go. No, we'll keep him actually. Brandstrom we might keep as well. Korchinski we have to renew for sure. 5 years is perfect actually. So he wants 5 years. We'll do 2 point something. Let's do 2.75. If he wants to do that, and then good thing we did our negotiation skills, so we'll ask for a response here. So he came down a decent bit there. So we'll just add 100 more. Do it again. And hopefully we can get him at 3. And then we'll just kind of cave in whatever he wants at that point. Yeah. We'll meet demands there, and we're happy with that. We do need a backup goalie, but Blomqvist is probably going to come up as well. What does he want? You know what? That's pretty good, but every cent's going to count for this one, so ask for that. And can we settle at $1 million? Alright, we'll do whatever he wants there. At that point, that's good enough for us. We can renew Dicho as well. Bring him to, oh no, he's on, where is he on? Yeah, we'll bring him to AHL though. So he has one more season there, so barring anything bad that happens, and you haven't really played for us, and you want that much. Alright. We'll do $1 million. Alright, that's good enough. He wants less than what we just offered him. Alright, cool. That works. So, Jarvan T's also one of our new guys, and then Pickering as well. So Pickering's going to come up. And we're probably going to extend him. Nolan Collins as well we have for at least 1 more year, and then Bo Laveau as well. Probably extend them after, but we'll look into free agency and see if there's anyone else that's popping off. So Stamkos is still available. What does he want? He wants 7.355 and a no movement clause. Let's hold off. We'll hold off. If we can get him for 6 again this year, that will be insane. And he wants 9.6 for 6 years. That seems like too big of a commitment for a rebuild. And he wants a no movement, so we won't be able to do that. Unfortunately, no matter what, we can't get him. Barry's also available as well, so he might end up making a go at that to fully even declare who we wanted last year, but he didn't play in the NHL anyways. Kapanen also is an interesting prospect, but he didn't play last year either. He played in the SHL. Vanisech is also available as well for backup. Nolan Allen, that might be an interesting pick here. Yeah, we'll do that. See if he ends up coming for that. We'll look at a lot of the other players as well. Coach Adelic is a guy that I've always looked at every single time, and we might end up, we'll offer him a contract. See if he turns into anything. I'm always curious. It's not going to cost us that much anyways, but it's always nice to see. There's another Crosby. We could have 2 Crosbys. All right, we're gonna offer him a contract regardless. It's gonna be confusing if he ends up actually making the roster. So maybe he ends up being the next Crosby on our team. So we're excited about that, but let's do the draft, See who we end up with. See if we can get any. Carter's still there too. He played in the SHL. So we'll see who's available and who we end up getting with the limited picks that we have. But hopefully we can get a big free agency splash again this season. So Stamkos signs with Minnesota Wild for $7.58 million. That's probably more than what we were willing to pay for him, but we ended up getting a bargain on him before, so not too bad. He did get 110 points for us last season, so fortunately goes to the West, which is kind of shocking to me, but it is what it is. And then we're going to have our evaluation for the draft. Where is that? It's, yeah, review here. Apparently they gave us a consensus of having the best draft. We ended up getting Jake O'Brien in the 4th. He looks like a decent back-checking forward. We did get him mainly for his speed and for his shooting accuracy and the fact that he is pretty multi-dimensional here. His points also were a little bit of a sticking out factor. He was 17 last year, so he's 18 now. 3.5 potential is what they're saying. But he was also projected to be 64th. Not that that really matters. And then we end up getting Kazada. We got him mainly for his stamina there, but he is a shadow. I wasn't going to normally get shadow, but he can be an up and down winger, and hopefully he can probably play into some of these other roles. But already at 18, he is pretty multi-dimensional there. Could even be a grinder as well. So even if he only ends up being around 3 stars, he can probably slot in our 4th line there as a grinder. He will definitely have to get his fighting up there. But overall, defensive read doesn't look too bad. And his offensive rating doesn't look too bad as well. He has determination of around 13, but that can always change a little bit. I did like the fact that he's 6'1" as well. He is 193 pounds, but so not too big. But yeah, it's the stamina and hopefully the speed that can kind of improve just a little bit on that. And then I did like his defensive read at 14 and puck handling and shooting accuracy there at around 14 as well. So he is pretty much a mid kind of player. But even if he can turn into something, it is good for us. And then this guy stood out immediately. Our Orečković was apparently an 83 projected, but we got him literally twice as late. But I did like the fact that he can do counterattacking, he can do grinding, and even playmaker if need be. Could be a decent setup man, but he'd obviously have to get his puck handling and offensive read just a little bit better. But stick checking is an immediate standout. His passing and his screening as well help with that. Getting open, it's definitely a boost there. And then we do like the speed and stamina there. Determination is a little bit lower than what we normally go for, but I mean, 6th round pick, not much you can really do with that. So he does have a 66 grade with the WHL team. He is 18, 6 foot, and 186. So hopefully he can develop into a decent player. And we took a gamble at our last pick. Two-way defenseman. His passing and puck handling is what stands out for me. His determination is pretty decent for 18, around 13. Do like his speed, his strength, and his professionalism. Stick checking and shot blocking positioning don't really go too bad with that as well. But he does look like he could be an offensive defenseman as well if need be. But two-way defenseman looks pretty decent for that. So hopefully he can get some of his physical rating over the next little while he's in Russia. Oh no, he's in the OHL. That is weird. I thought he was going to play in Russia, so maybe that's a little bit upsetting. He did have a plus-minus of -25, so hopefully he can get that figured out. But even during that, he still had a grade of 66, which suggests that it's not just him. But he is a 1-star, and he was projected to be 147. We got him around 100 picks later. So we're hoping that he can kind of develop into a decent player later on. And I mean, it's all about taking dart throws, and hopefully one of them sticks. So we'll sim to the beginning of the season and see how well we can do and what kind of moves we do throughout that process. So we didn't manage to get Stamkos, but we got the next best thing. We got Mikko Rantanen agreed to sign with us for 8.38 million over 5 years. We do have to give up a no movement clause, but still overall pretty decent though. So we do have him for the long haul there. And in terms of cap obligation, we do have Malkin again next year, Crosby again next year as well. So in terms of the all-in, we have Boldy and Rantanen as our two top players there in terms of financial factors. And then we have Gensel as well. So we do have a pretty pricey top three there. And then when you include Crosby and Malkin and even McTavish for that matter, we might have to part with one of our players. We did get Low in Crosby as well, but he's not going to play with us. So that's around $1 million that's going to go back down. Maybe even Jagger as well and Kochadelic. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So currently that's all the roster spots for forwards. So it looks like our forwards are pretty figured out there. But we're definitely going to try and add 1 or 2 acquisitions. We're going to probably get rid of Brandstrom as well. Just looking at that. Even maybe Jordan Spence might have to part with us just because 1.3 might be a little bit too much. Or, oh no, Lyubushkin. Lyubushkin's gone, so that'll free up that. So we should be good in terms of our cap issue there between those 2 players. We should be able to do that. And the new season is upon us, and let's just take a look at the season preview. And it looks like we're cup favorites again. Thank in large part to Rantanen coming to our team as well. And then you have Karlsson, who's considered one of the top defenders as well. So it does look like they're still projecting us as one of the top teams. We are in a win now this season as well as next season. But we did do a couple other acquisitions throughout the offseason. We grabbed Duclair as a free agent, not really asking for too much. He's a sniper, but I think we had him as counterattacking. So it is kind of interesting for it to show that. But we got him for 2 years. Around 800,000, so it's not going to cost us that much, and we could always just set him down if we need to as well. We end up signing Hudson, and then Lockshow. He got to our team on free agency. We have we got him for around what 878, so around the same as Duclair there, and then we haven't done anything since then. But a quick look at what our roster looks like here and who we're going to end up starting for opening night. We have Duclair, Jagger, and Kopanen as our bottom line there. We have McTavish, Newhook, and Lockshow. I think just because they're tired, it's probably going to adjust that after. Then you have Gensel, Malkin, and Rust as our third line there. And then you have Boldy, Crosby, and Rantanen as our top line. And then you have Hudson and Spence, Smith and Letang, and then Korchinski and Karlsson there. So pretty good all in all. And we do have, I think they did send down, we do have Brandstrom as well, so he's kind of our flex guy. So we are currently so close to the cap. We're around like 200 away from the cap, but currently only having 22 players though. So if injury ends up hitting us, we might be forced to make some drastic changes there. But it looks like a bunch of people are upset. I don't know why. So we'll look at the team harmony real quick before we end up starting this. Hit the league by accident. And yeah, looks like they're quite hostile apparently. So I know there's an off-field incident with Yari, but it seems pretty stupid. But I guess we're going to try and slowly fix that. So that is kind of annoying, just a little bit. Because I find, yeah, I don't like the harmony thing. I feel as though it's just a kind of a bad add-on. It just makes things much more confusing than what it has to. Because, yeah, I can understand morale and stuff like that about not playing players, and maybe the odd time there's an issue, but it seems like every season, every beginning of the season, there is an issue. So, I don't know, we'll kind of take it from there, but hopefully it's not too bad for us. Preseason went okay, but here on opening night, sure enough, it's against Florida Panthers. Let's see if we can come away with a victory. We win 7-3 decisively. Crosby getting his first of the season and second, and then Rust, Boldy, McTavish, and Rantanen getting 2 early on. So already 1 game in, Crosby already has an insane amount of points. 5 points, 2 goals, and 3 assists. Not that bad. But I don't even understand why we have a back-to-back game, our first game. That seems so stupid. I don't know why they would do that right off the bat. You get your first game and then you have to play it back-to-back. So I'm fully expecting us to lose this one. But we do manage to win in OT, surprisingly. McTavish getting his second there, Hudson getting his first, Malkin getting his first. Then you have Rantanen and Rust showing off at the very end. And then all in all, we owe it to Rantanen getting the goal and Newhook getting the goal in shootouts. So Newhook gets the game winner there. Yari's 2-0, and we're going to rotate between him and Blomqvist as much as possible. But 2 games in, looking good. And I think who do we face? Winnipeg. Winnipeg ended up only having the 1 OT loss against us as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if who ends up doing well. But if you take a quick look at, I think Minnesota might be the big team to beat in the West there. They were the ones who ended up getting Stamkos, and they also did sign our guy. Where is he? I think they ended up signing Spinner. Yeah, they signed Spinner, but then I think they sent him right down immediately. So he's currently in the AHL, so we'll see if that pick ends up doing well for them. They end up winning again, a close margin one, 5-4, but we're going to probably want to rotate a little bit more than that. Rantanen getting his 4th, Karlsson, Letang, and then Rantanen getting another one with Kopen in there as well. But so far, so good. We're going to want to start Blomqvist probably next. We are 3-0, so we can usually use that that flexibility there. Oh, but it's not. See, we had so many double, or at least the first double header, and then there's so much time here. So again, like the schedules need to be figured out a little bit more. It's not very likely that you're going to have an opening night and then have to play the next day right after. But Owen Tippett actually at the top of scoring is kind of fascinating. But we still have Crosby for at least 2 years now. Or hopefully 2 years. Looks like they're going to give Brandstrom the nod. Oh no, we still got a couple of games before we have to do it. So Washington's our next game there. Washington's at the bottom, so maybe we don't rotate at this point. Philly's really hot on our tails though. They're 3-1. New Jersey's also hot on our tails as well, 2-1-1. But Sabres are also 4-0. Sabres, Montreal, and Senators are all 4-0. My God, it's going to get hard to get out of the East here. But we did maintain what we wanted to do with Crosby. We did get to the finals, so I mean, no one can say that we didn't. But Blomqvist did do good in the preseason, so I'm really hoping that he can kind of show us the support here. And we end up winning 5-4, so still showing it in the regular season. McTavish then gets his 3rd, Karlsson with his 2nd, Jagr gets his 1st ever, and then you have Gensel and the Lockshow also with their 1st. Let's take a look at Blomqvist. Blomqvist had a 42, so maybe not the best game for him. We could have easily won by a higher margin than that. But, I mean, 4 games in, not too bad. Blomqvist had 2 wins already, so he did start one of the games already. So that's kind of interesting. And then Rantanen with 5 goals is top 5 of the league. Crosby also with top points there. He might actually break the franchise record this season, or at least if not this season, next season. But if he continues with this pace, and there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to at least beat the points one. But who knows? Maybe Mario Lemieux puts a stop to it. He laces up for one last day, and then passes Crosby there. And speak of Lemieux, so we'll take a quick look actually. And he is within spitting distance, so he could get him there. And then, I mean, he'd have to have an insane campaign this season. But he is currently top in assists though, so it's not much more that he'd be asking for. Wins leader, Yari could pass Barrasso this season, but I don't think he has anything to offer against Marc-Andre Fleury. Marc-Andre Fleury will probably forever be the franchise leader. So against the Leafs here, we end up losing our first game, 6-4. So defensively, we're not doing as good as what I'd hoped for. We're conceding far too much. Newhook, Gensel, and Smith all showing up there. But we get our first loss, and against the Leafs, of course, we end up losing to them. the worst team in the Atlantic, and it's not even close. So we end up losing them. Because of that, we end up dropping down to third, but I mean, we've been in familiar positions like this before, and typically it's as soon as we get it just out of our system at the beginning, we're good. We just need to get our harmony a little bit better. We end up winning 5-1, so at least defensively we did better there. Koponen, Tatar, and Duclair, Crosby, and Malkin all getting points there, or getting goals there. And we were 6-5-1. And let's see if we can get, we'll play probably up to 15, so we'll probably play a couple more games to kind of see where we're at, and then we'll take a look at what who's surprising for the points, and then we can get kind of an indication whether or not we need to make some trades throughout this season. But currently, cap-wise, we aren't going to have that much space. Still around 200. It's slowly getting better though. 8-5 or 8-3-5-1-1. So it's going to go up throughout the season. So hopefully we can manage to get something there. We end up losing against Ottawa there in OT though, 3-2. McTavish getting it, and then Tatar getting it, but then ultimately losing to Lassie Thompson. I don't even know that name. But Lassie Thompson is a 2-star player, so unfortunate. Yeah, no, we're going to defend him rigorously. What the hell? Why are we going to hate on one of our players that we went all in on? So, I mean, we did add 2 very good players over the last year pretty much. We did get Boldy in, and then we did get Rantanen, so that line is pretty top-notch, that's for sure. But it looks like our division is going to be pretty difficult to get through, though. It is kind of curious to see the scoring system. I wouldn't mind. We went 2-1 there. McTavish and then Koponen getting the 2 goals there. I wouldn't mind them going to a 3-point system. 3-point system seems to make more sense, because why should a team be rewarded for overtime losses? Pretty much being half a win. There should be more, or at least do kind of like the Olympics, where they end up having like 4 and then 3-2-1. So I don't mind that, but I don't know. I feel as though it shouldn't be that comparable. But Carolina off to a hot start as well. Geez, everyone has 6 wins for the top 3 teams there. Ottawa Senators are 10-0. Oh my god, I can't believe that the loss actually meant something big, though. We could have actually beat them. We end up losing in OT. And it doesn't look like any of these things really matter that much, but we do have a handful of games. Of course, back-to-back games. Why not? Why wouldn't they do that to us? So we get Nashville first. We played them recently, and now they beat us 2-1 in regulation. And then Carlson's with the lone goal there. But yeah, we should have gone to OT there, just at least get half the points. Shiri also was suspended. Interesting. But we'll put in, it looks like Brandstrom's going to probably play there. And then we put in Blomqvist. Let's see if we can beat 11-3. So where's that when we need it? Connor Bedard's still scoring 2 goals despite losing that bad. Duclair, Rantanen, Lockshow, Rantanen, Duclair, Crosby, and Gensel. They were winning 2-1 after the first. Second is just absolute dominant. Connor Bedard got a hat trick and they still lost. Spence, Boldy, and McTavish all getting off there as well. So we're going to play around 5 more games and leave it at that. But 7-2-1 is not too bad. It's a very good start. It's pretty much on pace with what we were doing last season. But it's always nice to see us starting off that hot. Then no injuries though, so I do like that as well. Haven't seen too many injuries recently, so it's good that that seems to be fixed right now. Smith looking like he's going to play instead. You know what? I want Blomqvist to start against St. Louis. We end up losing 6-2, so maybe not the best move. Jagger and Rantanen getting the only goals there. And it looks like they pulled Blomqvist anyway, so he only got a 33 grade, but not the best there. And St. Louis is not that good of a team. They're 4-7. So we should have probably won that one, but we are facing off against Dallas, who's a little bit lower in the standings as well. But if we end up losing to them, they'll probably be around the same spot as St. Louis now. And we lose back-to-back games in shootout, though. Carlson getting it, Malkin only getting 3 so far this season. Boldy, Duclair, and Duclair getting another one as well. We might want to end up having to switch up with Duclair, though. He seems to be scoring a little bit more. I'd rather him more of as a defensive forward. But we have been kind of a defensive liability for some of the games. We've been even 6-5 is way too high for us. It would be much nicer if we end up managing to keep those. Even a 3-2 would have been better. New York just passes us, but just means we have to put the pressure on them and win this next game here, because this will be crucial. Oh, I thought it was going to be against Rangers here, but it's against Islanders instead. And we end up losing 7-4, so that's 3 straight losses. Not very good. So Crosby, and we let in 7 again. Crosby, Gensel, and Crosby again, and then Rantanen. So we're going to have to change something up after these next 2 games, because clearly we're letting in too many goals. And despite putting in 4 in, we do need to make adjustments there. It could have been because there's so many games in such a short time frame. But Ottawa Senators still haven't lost in regulation, and Tampa Bay is 12-2. Oh my God! So our division's going to be a cluster. Even New Jersey's 14, and it's very close. So everyone's very close in our division. So 1 loss could be the difference between you making the wild card or not. 4-3, so we lose again. Something really needs to change, but obviously we'll do that off camera though. So we have 1 more game against New Jersey. And again, yeah, this now brings us down to 5th. We had such a hot start though. And now we're getting bumped down slowly but surely. And it's just more so of recent games though, so it's not really resonating very well as to why that's happening. But I'm pretty sure it's just we need to fix some of our positions there. As just looking at it, doesn't look like anyone's defensive. So I don't know what our AI is doing. Let's change that up just for this game. See if it can do anything. But it seems so stupid. Blockshow can play counterattacking just as well. Rantanen can play as, let's go power forward. Change that up just for this game. Screeners make no sense to me. Counterattacking there as well. And then let's put in, Tatar's not really a setup man. Maybe playmaker. I guess he's playmaker, but I wouldn't really consider him to be that. Let's go 2-way. And we should probably have a grinder. He should probably be it. Not a grinder. Okay, aggressive forechecker. And I don't think Russ is a setup man either. He's more of a finisher. Let's go up and down winger. Even our defensive. Hudson, yeah, he's more of a point shooter. That is right. Spence. We're just going to do, yeah, 2-way defenseman. Why is our Smith probably isn't a rushing defenseman. But yeah, it seems pretty stupid, in my opinion, how the AI doesn't assign these things properly. Look at that. We went 7-4, and let's check everyone's grade as well. Let's see if everyone was decent at that. Duclair's still getting a goal, and so does Rantanen. And then Malkin, McTavish, Rantanen again, and Gensel, and then Crosby. All doing pretty well. In terms of grade-wise, though, Crosby, Rantanen doing very well in his assignment. I don't think Boldy we changed. Then we have Spence doing as decent, Lockshow doing okay, Russ not doing as well, and Duclair not doing as well. So maybe we do need to relook it a little bit. Jagger having a 54 is not ideal either. We'll take a look at everyone's points and everyone's grade and everything like that. But does that win alone bumps us up to second? So it's going to be a huge thing for at least the next little while to see whether or not we can pull it off, though. Crosby with 23 points in 15 games is no slouch. You have Rantanen with 17, Carlson with 16, Duclair with 15. So even Duclair, I mean, he's getting the points, but at what cost, though? He has a 62 grade. Malkin with 15. So even Malkin showing up without us even really realizing it. He is 15 points there. Rust with 14. McTavish with 13. Boldy with 12, which we do expect a bit more from him. Ty Smith with 11, and then Gensel with 10 there. Jagger also getting 6, so that's not too bad. But let's see the goalies. The goalies is probably going to tell a better story. Yeah, Blanquist 878 save percentage. We might need to get a backup. We'll have to look at our finances, but it doesn't look like we can really afford it. Probably a 1.2 million goalie is probably the most that we can probably ask for. But 878 and then 909 is not much better. 4-1 though still for Blanquist, so he's only lost the 1. But I mean the save percentage tells a completely different story. Goals against as well, 412. That is a terrible goals against, and even Yari as well, 3.35, 4-4-2. Yeah, we're gonna have to take a good look at this team here, and we're gonna have to kind of shift it a little bit more because we can't be letting in so many goals. Not only is it not right to our goalies, but it's not going to be good for the longevity of this season. So hopefully we can push through and make those changes. So thanks for everyone watching, and our next episode will be closer to trade deadline. Hopefully everyone enjoys this series so far. Leave a like or comment at the bottom, and thank you everyone for watching.